rock and roll. Bring over my chart. Come on, SPY and ES, let's go. All right. Hey, happy Friday. How's everybody doing? Hopefully you guys had a very prosperous green morning. It was fun, you know. We made a lot of money, a lot of us, in the first 30 minutes of the day today. Realistically, the first 10, 15 minutes. So days like that, we'll take it. But I say that to say this. It doesn't always happen that way. So you can't change the way that you trade because you just got to follow the plan, you know. Every single day we come on here, we do a recap of why I called out the trades that I specifically called out. The same tools, same patterns, over and over and over again, right? So you create a repeatable process day in and day out. We don't win every single trade, but as long as you win in a lot more than you lose, which we do, you're gonna finish the week. You're gonna finish the week good, right? I just like to tell people if you come in and you can get one or two winning trades a day on the day trading side, you get to go enjoy your day. You know, not only do we day trade, we also swing trade and we also invest. For investments, right, on shares and major crypto coins. So in the end, I tell people this: I like to day trade for my job, swing trade for to grow my account, and I like to take the profits of both to pay the bills, keep the power and internet on, so we can keep making money, and anything left over, we get to buy shares on the house, and that's a great situation. Some people though, they don't have the time to day trade because they own a business. That's totally fine. I'm just going to share with you why we called out a couple of the day trades today, but I'm also going to share with you how you can swing trade with the plan using the same thing that you see on the screen and how you can invest. So if you give me the next 10 minutes of your morning, we're gonna rock and roll here. For people that are still trading, just keep an eye. ES is coming up here too, a pivot as well. But let's dive in. I personally day trade stock options and futures, and I swing trade stock options and shares, right? So on this first chart where you see the star, the orange star, what's the game plan? I could teach you how to trade with us in 10 seconds. You need a red candle and you need to hit one of our pivots that we have. And as long as your 2 minute and 5 minute is in sync with each other, that's a great trade. If the 2 minute and 5 minute are not in sync with each other and you want to trade off the 2 minute by itself, just understand if you take trades against that, it's a little bit more riskier, and that's a good trade, right? It's still valid. It just depends on the person's individual risk preference or tolerance, because each and every one of us, we can still use the same tools and system, but we do have different risk things that affect us, you know? If you were in the SPY trade from earlier, you can get ready to go on a loose trail stop. If we keep melting down here, you'll be fine. You're probably about break even right now, or up just a little bit. So just my recommendation. Anyway, today, why do we call these trades out? Check it out. The candles here, 5 minute, you can see on our bubble, 2 and 5 up here where I'm circling it, they are red. So I'm more interested in taking great setups, right? With that being said, what do we see on great setups? We see price, right? Candle is red right here. We hit this pivot, wait for it to close. We box it in. We take a breakdown. This trade right here was enough. There you go, SPY traders. This trade was enough. 67.08 to 66.88. That's $1,000 for one ES contract, right? That's a grand slam. That doesn't always happen, but when it does, you know, we say, bang, let's go, right? So I did not capture that full move, but I did capture a nice chunk. We all took the trade right there. A lot of people got stopped out on this little pullback. That's totally fine. I believe on this trade right here, I think I made like 400 bucks, maybe 350 on just one contract. So hey, that was a good morning, and it happened right in the beginning. So there's one winning trade. Now you sit here, and this is the hardest part about trading. You got to sit here, you got to stay patient and wait for your setup to fire away, right? So as I'm watching here, price is coming back up. We hit this pivot. We caught another breakdown right here. Boom. Guess what? There's another couple $100. If you held it to the very bottom, you'd probably made about 750 bucks. But I'm not going to tell you you're going to get the full move because I never do, but I can get a piece of it. So that's a great trade. Then we reset, candles red right here. We took a breakdown. Here was your stop. Guess what? Bam. You just got 3 winning trades on ES today. Nobody should have been red had you have traded it like we do. So coming over to the other setup on NQ right here. Check it out. Same thing. Candles red. We take a breakdown. We wanted to trade right here. I was able to capture a big chunk of this. I think I got like 40 NQ points on this first trade. I was very happy. There was other people that got 50 points, 60 points. That's pretty good. Had you have taken this move, it went from 46 down here to that's about 100 150 points, 150 NQ points. If you go by ticks, that right there is 600 ticks, right? I wasn't able to capture all that, but on those 2 trades right there, I was able to capture just shy of about $1,100. So I'm grateful. I love it. But the great thing is, it wasn't just me. When we link arms together as a team, then we all win together, trading together. We have fun. But then we come into the next setup. The next setup, price came up here, didn't hit a pivot, come back down, hit a pivot, wanted to break down here, bounce back up again. Then we come back down, hit this pivot. There's people that took the breakdown right there. Here's your stop. Boom. And there is your second qualified entry of a great entry on the pivots and Swing Master Pro. And that's how you can trade simplified. However, that is just one trading vehicle we have inside of our software. So in the end, like I said, each and every one of us is universally different. There's multiple ways to skin a cat, so you have to do what resonates and manifests with you. If you like to take quicker trades like this is probably the one I'd put you on in the beginning. But you got to come in and get your reps and start off small. You know, a lot of people made over $1,000 today. If you came in, I want you to come in and focus on making 25 to 50 bucks a day. And once you do that for a week or two, let's make $50 to $100. Now that becomes impactfulness. You're making $250 to $500 a week, trading 5 hours a week. That's impactfulness, right? Then you get to the point where you're making $100 to $200 a day. Now you're making $500 to $1,000 a day, wherever you're at, as long as you have power and internet and the software, of course. And that makes trading simplified. Now you're paying mortgages, you're paying cell phone bills, you're paying groceries, and that's impacting your household. The last futures trade that I took was this chart right here, where I put the circle. I want to make it a smiley face because I'm in a good mood. It's Friday. Yesterday my power was out for like 10 or 12 hours. It sucked, but today we good. So this trade right here, guess what? Candles are red. We come down here and we took a breakdown right here. Price pushed down. I think I did call another breakdown right there because it technically did hit the pivot right here. So you got 2 trades right there. Price came back up, hit the pivot again for an entry. Here was your entry. Oh man, it went against us and boom, it paid us. So on this first drop right here on CL, that was able to capture me, those 3 trades. I made about $1,300 today. Praise of the Most High, grateful. Let's rock and roll. Now, if you don't trade futures because you think it's risky, that's fine. That's your opinion. We do trade stock options, right? 2 trades we called out on stock options today. We called out the Tesla short right here, and right there when the market opened, it happened fast. Up here would have been your stop out, and this thing ended up going from 37 down here to 25. You're making 400% ROI on this move today in stock options, and that's why I love stock options, because if you put in one contract for $200, you can't go negative. You can only lose $200, and for you to lose all 100% of this, which is very unlikely, you'd have to hold it all the way till the end of the day, and then it'll become worthless. But when it moves in your favor, that $200 could quickly become $250, $300. In this case, you're seeing something like this: 200 entry, 400, 600, 800 down there. And then if you do not sell and it bounces back, right there, you're probably losing. And that's the downfall with trading daily expirations or Friday expirations. But the moves happen quick. And always remember this right here: you don't get paid until you take profits. So Tesla was a great one. The last options trade we called, we have something we call our SPX Lotto system, right? You don't look at no other, what I want to say, you don't take in consideration of nothing else. You could, but when we back tested this, or I back tested this, created a system I try to take all the outside noise, reports, news, and toss it to the side and take this repeatable process. This same exact setup right here, we're able to get, we're on a 17-day win streak. Doesn't always happen. We've been blessed, but typically, if we could win 4 out of 5 days every week, to me, that's a win. The reason I call this a lotto, and it's not for everybody, is because, for one, the moves can happen quick sometimes. Two, our average loss is 50 or 60% ROI. So you have to be comfortable losing 50 or 60% ROI. Now the wins, right? Reason we call it a lotto is because when we back tested this, we have about an 80% probability to get 50 to 100% ROI. Now, when a lot of people follow me when I put the trade out, I share when I'm taking it. I like to go risk free, typically at that 30 to 50% mark, just to collect profits. So I look at it like this: even if I'm only making, right, if I risk $1,000, even if I'm only making 200 to 300 bucks a day, right, on 4 days, and on the one day I lose $600, which my loss is bigger than my win, 300, 600, 900, 1200 minus the $600 loser, I just still made $600 using $1,000 leverage for the week. 6, 12, 18, that's $2,500 at the end of the month off this one vehicle, right? So some people start off one contract, they might only use 300 bucks to take the trade, 400 bucks. That's totally fine. Today, this is what we do. We wait for the breakout or breakdown. You can see my lines here. I called the breakdown here. Guess what? Boom! Look at that. Another nice, juicy meltdown. I was only at 3 contracts, and I was able to make over $500 on this move. It doesn't always happen this way, but when it does, it is an amazing feeling. So, with that being said, the power behind this is we use our Swingmaster Pro software, and we use our AI Lotto High as an option strike and our AI Lotto Low as an option strike. And that's why we took the things that we did today. So you can see right down here, our strike is right at that 66.30. That was the put strike that I was willing to take, somewhere around there, because that option strike has a probability to go 50 to 100%. Tons of resources, energy, hours went into this system. It is an all-in-one system that I consider, because not only do we day trade, I'm going to show you how we can swing trade. So I'm going to pull up a random symbol on, what do we want to look at? I'm trying to do something different. Every day I try to do something completely different. We can look at, let's look at Google. Let's look at Google with an L. Now, we're going to come here and put on the daily time frame, right? And see what we got. So, I didn't plan for this. I'm not sure what it is, how the winners or losers were, but I'm going to share with you what the thing and the power of this. See the probability? It says 85%. Well, you got 2 ways to take this trade, right? I'm going to put it right here. Real simple, that a middle schooler could get. Green candle, green arrow, right there, price goes up. Green candle, green arrow, 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 price goes up. So, if you took this over the last 2 months, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 winners, right? Once we go up 15, 20% ROI, I like to go risk free. Why? Because if you took this trade right here, where it went from 283 and it hit a high of 287, that's 4 Google points in your favor, and that's enough to get you 15 to 30% ROI with the 4-week expiration contract. But I'm going to show you a loser, because we do take losses. So like right here would be a loser. If you took this trade right here, here'd be your stop out. That's a loser. So I say that to say this: you have to use risk management, you have to be consistent, and you have to follow the plan. And it's as simple as that. So that's how we can day trade, or I'm sorry, that's how we can swing trade. And then in a downtrend, we do the opposite. We wait for a red candle, red arrow, down. Red candle, red arrow, down. Red candle, red arrow, loser. Red candle, red arrow, down. Red candle, red arrow, down. Red candle, red arrow, down. That right there is completely too large. So this right here, you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One loser, 6 and 1, or 5 and 1. That's a lot higher. Even if you took this, you'd be 6 and 1. which is still underperforming, but you're still green. 7-1, 7-2, 8-2, 8-3, 9-3, 10-3, 11-3, 12-3, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18-3. Just from a visual standpoint, let's see what we got. 18 divided by 21. 18 divided by 21 equals 85%. What's our probability? 85.35. That's right in alignment. Get what I'm saying? We've already done all the back testing for you, so you don't have to waste your time to do this, but it's nice for yourself. And that's how we can swing trade. You can do that on many different symbols. Now, from an investing standpoint, you give me like 3 more minutes of your time, and I'll give you back your Friday. From an investing standpoint, we do the same thing. Now we drop down to the weekly time frame, right? And picture this like a real estate method, I like to call it. So check this out. Here's a buy. You only take buys. Here's another buy, and here's another buy. First buy is right here at 121, right? 121. Say you got a $1,000 account, and you put 500 bucks into this trade. You're at 120. It keeps pushing up, and it goes to almost 200 bucks. Your 500 is worth 750. Guess what? You could sell out. You let 500 ride, right? Now you got 250 back. So now you got $750 on your side pot. Then we get another buy, and you got 750 bucks. I'd put all 750 back in it, and now you got 12. You got 1250. Here's your entry. Here's your entry. Your cost average is right here, right at about 130. And then guess what? Price pushes up, comes back down. Price pushes up at 240 or 260. Right here, your 1250 is worth $2,500. Guess what? Sell out and let 1K ride. Now you have $1,500 off to the side. Also, every single one of these 1, 2, 3, 4. Right there's a 4 or 5%. 1, 2, 3, about to get a 4. There's another 3 or 4%. So you get a dividend just for holding this. So now we have house money, right, in Google because we only had $1,000. We have $1,500 on the side, and we still have $1,000 riding in Google for free right now. Now we can come into something different. We'll do Ethereum, just because that's a crypto. I was going to do Amazon, but they're kind of similar, so I like to be diverse. Here's a buy. Here's a buy. Here's another buy. Now, you take your $1,500, you put 1K right there at 8. Up here at 16, you have 2K. Sell out, bring 1,000 back. You still got $1,500. You have 1K for free up there. Your 1K is sitting at 2K. Sell out, bring 1K back. Now you got 2,500 bucks. You still got $1,000 for free. Then here's another buy entry. Here was your first entry. You're still holding, so you're in profits. You buy it again right here. You buy it again right here at 27, and guess what? So you got 1,000. You might put another 1,000 in. Now you have 2K sitting into this. So now you go back to $1,500 on the side. Now your cost average is right here at 16. Well, price goes against us. We go back in profits, and then goes up here to 32. If you want to take another buy into this, you could and put in another 1,000, and now you got $3,000 into this trade. And now your average would come into about right here, right at 20. Guess what? Up here at 40, you now have 6K. Sell out, 5K, bring 5K back to the pot. You now have $5,500. We're just going to say 5,000, and you got 1K for free. Now you're waiting here for another buy entry. You see how easy that is? We started off with $1,000. We have $1,000 in Ethereum. We have $1,000 in Google with an L. And now we have $5,000 sitting off to the side. All house money. Now you come into something completely different, and you come into, let me try to pick something. Everybody likes Apple. Let's see Apple. AAPL. And now you do the same exact thing with Apple, right? Here, you have a buy signal at 180. Here, you have a buy signal at 160. You put 1,000 in right here. Price goes up. And you might be at $1,500. You could sell out if you wanted to. Price comes back down. You put another 1K in if you didn't sell out. Now you got 2K into the spot. So now you're at 3K. And then price goes from 180 with your average point about 150. and give or take, or I'm sorry, yeah, your average price is about 160. Up here, it's at 280. Your 2K is now worth 3K. Bring 2K back, you have 5K. Now you got 1K into Amazon or Apple. Now you got three companies that you are sitting on house money in profits while you're growing your retirement account. Do you see that? So now not only are you holding and staying in the market, you're being strategic and outperforming the overall market. So now every four of these blue dots, there's 3%, there's 6%, there's 9%, and we're coming up on an earnings right here. So there's an additional 9% just being a reward for holding Apple. And that right there is my plan. How I day trade, how I swing trade, and how I invest over and over and over again. So if news comes out and the market falls, I look at opportunities like this as blessings because that's going to reset everything from an investing standpoint. It's going to bring price back to an average mean. It makes it affordable. It makes it a lot more enticing to want to trade. But I let the software do all the work, and I sit back here and I relax. So we have trades every single week that we do take. Some weeks we don't get trades, or I mean, I don't take them because I like the probability. I trust the software. I trust the plan, and that's what I do over and over and over again. But with that being said, do me a favor. Let me know where you're watching the recording from. Put it in the chat. I like to see where we're at all over the world. And if you want to get started, just comment Beast Mode or BMT below. I'll send you my email, and we will have a conversation and see what your best path to success is going forward. So with that being said, you guys have a blessed one. Catch me on the next one. Have faith. Praise to the Most High. Hey, Beast Mode out.